Yeah, so I'm Vlad, founder CEO of Later. We are building a perpdex on top of Ethereum with custom L2 that uses K circuits to make everything very efficient, very fast, and verifiable. We started building Lighter about 2.5 years ago, launched the testnet a year ago, and private beta earlier this year. And so we've seen a lot of growth from that. Before building Lighter, I started my career in trading at Citadel, and then spent a bunch of time in Silicon Valley working on startups in fintech and AI.
What brought you to the Web3 space?
Well, I left trading, and then after I got into startups, this was like 2012. Someone showed me the Bitcoin paper, so I got really intrigued about the math there, and also was interested in the markets aspect of it. And so then after I learned about ZK, I thought, okay, we can actually use this to build a much more efficient exchange, which got me excited about trading again. So it was kind of full circle.
I think Lighter is moving to. So what is the current status, and what can you do?
So the private beta is wrapping up kind of very soon, kind of any day now. We're putting some finishing touches on the technical side, but it's going to be very soon, right? After that, the next milestone will be launching Spot, which it will happen in, let's call it 4 to 6 weeks from now. And then the next milestone after that, once we have Spot, then that would allow for a native token, right? So we would kind of work on that through the end of the year.
Another question, what your native token will have some usage?
Yeah, so, we're until, we don't have any specific announcement on that, but it definitely, there will be a lot we'll have to say about that once it's ready. But yeah, we're spending a lot of time to design that right now, yeah.
A lot of retail people are curious about how it makes money.
Yeah, sure.
Transaction.
Well, we are generating transaction fees from market makers and HFTs, not retail.
Can you explain more about how you make it?
Yeah, so it's similar to Robinhood, right? So Robinhood, if you're a trader, retail trader, you're not paying anything, right? But the market makers on the other side of that, let's say Citadel or Jane Street or those kinds of participants, they pay Robinhood money to participate on the other side of those trades, right? Because if you're, market making is very profitable. And so they share some of that profit with Robinhood. Same thing can happen on chain, right? So if you're a market maker, a high frequency trader doing like hundreds, thousands of trades a day, you would pay lighter fees. And actually that's already being rolled out right now. And so instead of the retail trader paying, it's the professional trading shops that are paying, right? So that's actually a better model, right? Like as you've seen, Robinhood and TradFi is now kind of the biggest consumer brokerage. And in fact, the other brokerages adopted the zero fee model too. And other industries also work this way, right? Like advertising and so on, right? Like you kind of pay, it's the best experience for the retail, and then kind of the other side of the marketplace is what pays. Yeah.
As you are building a DEX, why do you think people should DEX? Do you think that for a longer time, people will more DEX?
That's certainly our conviction. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? I mean, it has to play out, and it's probably not going to happen overnight. But at this point, in terms of latency, we're as fast as centralized exchange, right? In terms of fees, we're actually lower fees. In terms of security, it's higher security. Now, there's some. Why would someone still? I would invert that question, right? Like, why would someone still use a centralized exchange? I mean, I guess one reason is because they don't fully understand how, what does it mean to have a wallet? And I mean, even that, there are now tools like Dynamic or Privy, where you can use your email to log in, and they create the wallet for you. So even that part is easier now. But also, some people maybe just, they still don't fully understand that part, or maybe they've tried DEXs in the past when they were not very user-friendly and got burned. You don't want to try it again, or some people maybe just by habit. I think there's a bunch of reasons like that. We definitely see the trend happening, and I think with these trends, usually it's like slow, and then eventually you kind of cross over, right? It's like it's a huge market, so even the market that already exists for DEXs is pretty big as it is. So we have a lot of work to do either way, but at some point, whether it happens this year or next year, I think there will be some inflection point.
So you're seeing index transaction volumes and TVL going signal of massive adoption.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's like it's not clear how much of that is people coming over from the centralized exchanges, and how much of it is just like people who generated wealth from other dexes that are they're staying in the ecosystem, and how much of that is like net new traders coming from TradFi. Like, I think it's interesting to think about. Like, but again, I would use Robinhood as an example, right? Like, Robinhood didn't necessarily, like, the way they got to be as big as they are wasn't necessarily by getting the people from the legacy systems to come over. It's more just like, at the time they appealed to millennials, right? And so like the younger traders came on Robinhood, and then as they got more wealth, they stayed on Robinhood and grew with it, right? So I think the same thing may happen here. Like, the people who are more crypto native, who understand how digital assets work, who understand how wallets work, all of that, who are on DEXs now, and they're making money. They're both from the trading and from investing, right? Like, that wealth effect will lead to just like more capital in the decentralized ecosystem.
So I know you said you're going to talk about this. As Lighter shapes the future of DEX, what are your key roadmap milestones and priorities?
Sure. Yeah, so I mentioned spot. I mean, the next big thing after that would be like universal cross margin, where you can actually use lots of different assets as collateral. So for example, if you own ETH, you don't have to sell your ETH. You can just use that as collateral on Lighter. Or if you own some assets on, let's say, Aave, you can use that as collateral, or even Bitcoin, right? So that's going to be a big one, universal cross margin. Also, real world assets would be part of it. We have already started doing pre-launch markets, so we'll do more of that, and down the road, even things like prediction markets and options.
So there are a lot of Lighter. So could you give some advices? A lot of Lighter users.
Oh,
So
yeah.
would you give any advices for the Lighter points?
Sure. Well, first of all, we're really thankful to the community here. Like, when we launched with 100 users, right, the first language we added after English was Korean. And I think at that time we had like 29 Korean traders, or now I think we have a lot more than that. So, so we appreciate all the support when we're enjoying our time here. But as far as advice, I mean, I would say just like trade how you organically trade. Like, if you try to do kind of weird strategies, the point system can detect that and actually give you less points. Like, people who try to like do wash trading or weird stuff, like, that doesn't lead to more points for them, that leads to less points, right? Because the way the system is designed is to reward real traders, right? So just try to do like the kinds of trades you would normally do. Maybe use more leverage, like take, like, I guess, like maybe try to trade some of the market's like smaller coins, right? And like, you can try to do some strategies where you take positions on Lighter and maybe hedge them on other exchanges. Like, those types of strategies can work. I think trying to do like weird strategies to generate volume, that's not a good idea.
So even if you said some words like Korean, can you see something more, some details, Korean market?
Yeah, well, I think that again, we're really grateful for the support. We want to like tell your friends about Lighter, especially when the public launch happens. Like, if you know people who are currently using centralized exchanges, show them Lighter, and they'll see that it's just it's just as easy to use, if not easier. Like, I think we need to kind of continue to drive adoption and just like tell the story, and show it to your friends, and we're really excited about the community here, and I think what we see here, the community here really understands markets and understands risk, and is eager to adopt new products. Thank you. Okay.